Sometime in the 1980s, Caspar Salmon's grandmother was invited to a gathering on the Welsh island of Anglesey, attended exclusively by people with Fish surnames, and hosted by Michael Fisher, or so his grandmother told him. 30 years later, filmmaker Charlie Lyon attempts to sort myth from reality and bring light to this light-hearted family tale as he searches for the truth behind its fishy disposition. Lyon's Fish Story is a clear example of the participatory mode, as it emphasizes the interaction between filmmaker and subject. Put shortly, these forms of documentary can be described by the phrase, "we learn from interaction," from what people say and do when confronted or engaged by others. While it didn't originate from his own family, Lyon has become an integral part of the tale's existence as a whole. From minute one, we are introduced to the narrative through Salmon and Lyon's interaction of recounting the tale. And as Nichols describes, a participatory documentary alters as a result. Therefore, it is participatory, as the investigation was started by the filmmaker Lyon, and as it progresses, it alters along the way in reaction to new information. And like a mystery narrative, Lyon follows lead after lead, and as new information presents itself, the film's narrative follows. In analyzing the film's mode, there is a visible subjectivity to the film, thereby indicating Nichols' description of performative. However, Fish Story is still ultimately participatory, as there is a stronger visual objectivity. While evidence supports the tale as being true, Lyon does not ever explicitly say so. Instead, he leaves audiences to interpret for themselves, such as concluding the film with an interview with Michael Fisher, where he objectively states that he has no direct recollection of the event, yet it may be possible. Furthermore, audiences do not learn from Lyon's direct experience of the Aqua Zoo opening, but rather through his interviews and interactions with individuals who have. And therefore, in Nichols' 2010 comparison of modes, it does not embody the performative phrase, "I speak to you about my experience," but more, "I speak with them for you," as the interactions give us a distinctive window into the subject. Additionally, while Fish Story does not demonstrate what Chu and Nichols both recognize as objectivity evident of the expository mode, with its discontinuous time and space images, deliberately edited and selected visuals, and the steady tripod interviews, and the definite lack of handheld camera work in Fish Story, it is still participatory. Now, Fish Story's mode ultimately informs the content present, and as such, regular participatory indicators are evident. Fish Story contains a linear narrative, as we follow Lyon in his search for credibility and truth. We first learn of the tale and are then privy to evidential voiceovers in informal and casual conversations such as phone calls. These voiceovers are real and not staged, and therefore it is evident that the filmmaker's participation informs the investigation. Additionally, a casual turn common with the mode is also reflected in the content. Throughout the film, non-sync voiceovers are paired with light exploratory soundtracks and supporting visuals pertinent to the investigation, such as news clippings, phone books, family photos, and Aqua Zoo brochures. Furthermore, as the investigation ends, this tone carries over. While we are shown the interviews of subjects, they are not staged as with more expository documentaries. Rather, they include real locations lived in by the individuals and shown in natural lighting for what they are. Doing so under a participatory mode, Lyon's style as a filmmaker is overtly visible in Fish Story. Briefly put, his style of documentary filmmaking is to place narrative and therefore audience focus on the subject itself. Such as in his other works, Personal Truth and Lasting Marks from 2018 and 2019 respectively, Lyon's utilization of the voiceover and supporting visuals emphasizes the content. By removing his visual presence as a character or a host, audiences better understand the story. The film, while participatory and exploring his own investigation, is not specifically about Lyon himself, but rather the tale itself and the oddity that it is. And while the three films may differ slightly with their content being tailor-made to the subjects, for example, Fish Story conveying an intriguing and quirky, heartwarming family tale, Personal Truth conveying a mysterious exploration of conspiracies and questioning self, and Lasting Marks containing neither visual or audio presence of Lyon for a darker tale of a sadomasochistic fetish club's run-in with the law. Lyon's overall style is clear. The narration and visuals are essentially stripped of unnecessary content depending on the subject, thereby allowing audience attention to be captured and the film's effect strengthened. Now, overall, Charlie Lyon's 27 documentary Fish Story is demonstrative of a participatory film. As such, this is reflected in the content present. Furthermore, like his other works, there is a distinct style present which is informed by both the mode and content. and while evidence may support claims of expository or performative modes, fish story is ultimately participatory.